Hey guys, this is Introducing Emmy and we're back with another Redline Tuesday, this time from leaderoffaith.deviantart.com. Let me get a little closer. There we go. And the original had a signature and some other information around the picture, but when I brought it into Photoshop, it got cropped out. I apologize, but this is the original artist, leaderoffaith.deviantart.com. And let's get started. Have to admit, I was really excited to do this one. I'm always excited when I get to draw girlies. So I realize there's like a really obvious style to this. So I'm going to try to keep within that and just kind of smooth out some anatomy issues. Let's see here. Get a little closer. So right here, this is kind of like a stylistic choice, which is fine. Like doing the crotch is sort of like a flat line. However, it should just be lower. Like you would go like that, so that it hits at the bottom of the pubic area, and then belly button would probably be there. This is something we've seen frequently here on Redline Tuesday, and that is sort of like the shoulders sitting off the body. If it's easier to think of your characters as kind of like a little Barbie doll, sort of like with the sockets and the joints, or like a ball jointed doll. Think of it like that, and then just follow it through. So right there, I'm just like really roughly putting a guideline to make sure that it's pretty square. Let me switch to a better eraser. Not that big though. Okay. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to address on this one was that it's always good to kind of know how the feet will plant below the character. So like her in the original, it just kind of ends there, and that's just like a style thing, you know, which is fine. But I think if I was gonna do it like this, I might even end it a little higher than there, because this kind of ending like this could almost be like the bottom of the knee right there, and sort of ending at a joint looks a little awkward. If you're gonna end it, it's better to like end it a little higher or lower than a joint. I don't know. I mean, again, it's like one of those things where it's like, no, if you want to end it at the joint, go for it, you know, but like, to me, I wouldn't end it there personally, but, so, what we're gonna do, though, is I'm just gonna kind of, oh boy, hear my dog grumbling at me. So I'm just kind of like taking a guess of like how you could end this, but it's good to do this because then you like will know for sure. That this is like how the legs would be positioned rather than just sort of doing the curves of the thighs like in any old place, you know. But again, I don't know if this is exactly where you wanted the legs, like if this is how you were implying it in the original, but this is just like to kind of give an idea of where they could be. I used to get harped on a lot when I animated about, like, a lot of times if a character was cut off at the waist or whatever, they would look sort of like they were like leaning from the like if this was the edges of the paper and I was doing a character, a lot of times they would look like they were just kind of like leaning, you know, but the background was still relatively straight, and that was because I had never put a piece of paper below it, like taped on a piece of paper and like drew how they were actually supposed to be standing, you know. That actually looks kind of cool, but it's not a good example because it looks neat, but trust me, it doesn't look too good when you're animating and you have like a character from like the waist up or the thighs up or whatever, and they're like falling over because you weren't quite sure where the legs were. You didn't take the time to do that. So, again, I would recommend maybe yakking it off right there straight, but you don't have to. Alright, let's do the head and the hands, and that'll be it. Basically, I really don't know what else to do with this one. I feel bad, you know, these have been kind of short lately, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I'm just getting very efficient at redlining, I guess. I should mention that this drawing is pretty small. It's at 72 dpi. I didn't bother resizing it. Probably should have, but that's why if it looks like I have a slightly heavy hand, that's the reason. You know what? I'm going to leave that orange layer there, but I'm not going to turn it on for now. Sorry. Just checking it. Okay. So here, again, this could be a stylized choice to make the one eye a little smaller. Personally, I would even it out. So let's use this eye as an example. Let me change to a different color here real quick so I can kind of redline my redline. Alright, so you got this eye here. And we know that the eyebrow ends at the corner, okay? Like the eyebrow ends at the inner corner of the eye. I don't know what that, like the tear duct. Okay, there we go. Whew. And then it kind of forms like a little house, almost. And then ends at the end of the eyelash. So that will be our model for this eye. And I've tried to make this as straight as possible. Obviously we are going to have, it's going to be curved. I'm just thinking like how I can show you guys this. Okay, so we're going to curve around. Here's our little nose. Then we're going to do another little curve, and then we're going to do another curve like this. Now this eyebrow's a little higher, and that could just be, you know, like she's like, hey, you know, got a little higher eyebrow. This eye is actually fine, it's just in the wrong... Man, I said that weird. I was like, it's fine. It's just kind of in the wrong position. So, again, if you want it to look like this, ignore what I'm saying. This is just to, if you want to square it out a little more or whatever, you know, because I know like a lot of newer cartoons and stuff, the flash animations look like this. So I'm not trying to give you a hard time or anything. So we're just going to move it. And let's see. That's pretty close. So now it is squared. Let me delete that blue layer. Okay, cool. So there we go. There's the eyes all squared up. It's a little easier to see without the other eye there. So there you go. And then let's do the hair. I will do that in... What's a good color? What about purple? We'll do it in purple. Purple! So we'll do the part, and then you got a bang. And then there's like a piece that comes down here. Sorry, I kind of repetitiously go over my work with yins. It's just that I want to make sure that it's really obvious. Like you'll see me just go like this, and then like I'll erase it all down. That's just to make sure that you guys like really see the line I'm going for. For fun. Sorry, I really wanted to put something there. Okay, wait, whoa. This is an interesting pattern that I'm trying to... There, I think I got it. Okay, so this is just like a little, like, not even pet peeve of mine, but in the original, oh my gosh, how many layers of color do I have here? In the original, the braid comes down, and the part that like sticks out of the bottom of the rubber band, like the rest of the hair, this little ponytail section, is smaller at the tension point than here. And to be honest, it would actually be, you know, about the same size here. It would be just kind of a little chib. Here, I'll tuck it in more. I don't know, just a little thing. Oh, we didn't do the hands. Oh my gosh, I just kind of forgot all about that. Okay, so we're going to do the hands now. Just going to turn it. And turn it like that. Okay. So, to be honest, I have trouble with this hand position myself, so I'm kind of having like a moment here. I'm going into my mind, trying to think how I want to show to do this. Okay, and then hands from the front are kind of these like wedge-shaped abominations. So just try to stick with that when you're, again, I'm sorry for all the visual noise while I'm trying to figure this out. Whew, this is looking a little rough on the hand front. I usually spend a lot of time on my hands and my faces, though recently it's been more like my hands all the time. That's like all I spend my time doing these days is redrawing hands. I'm starting to like get a semi-mastery for how I do my faces, at least the preferred style that I do my faces in, so they usually don't take me too long to correct and go over and everything. But when I sit down and have to do some hands, ooh, buddy. Yeah, I'm not happy with those hands. Okay, so we enter day 60 of the hand drawing correction. Okay, so you could leave them like this and it's closer to the original to be left like this. However, if I could make a teeny tiny suggestion. Though this will change, I think, the body language a little more. But I think it would be okay to turn the hands around. So that they're more like on her butt, because her elbows are kind of like pointed back more. So I think it would be okay to do it like this. And maybe keep this one more towards the front, but have it a little lower and pointed down. Something to that effect. Just to kind of change up the rhythm between the two, and I don't know. I think personally it kind of looks a little cooler. I don't know. But sometimes when you see a girl, I keep saying, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Sometimes when you see this pose in animation where a character is like, specifically a girl, if she kind of has her hands like this, it's usually more of like a sensual pose or like a bad back pose. Like, oh, my back. But, you know, if you whereas like putting the showing the fingers to the front is a little more like attitude. So I guess this is like a kind of a combination: attitude, sexiness, attitude, you know. Take it or leave it. It's just like an option, I guess. Oh, I didn't even realize this curled like this because I couldn't see it through my filter. I'm sorry. Let me be correcting the curl. Get out of here. My brushes, they just came in to say hi for a second. I like it. Oh, so when you do earrings like this would actually connect differently, but because of the style, I'm just going to leave it as like a circle there. But a quick way to do this is, because I know circles can be kind of like, ugh. So let me do an ear over here. Make it a cool ear. Okay, so there's our ears, and this is where the piercing is going to go. And we're going to do a hoop, but we're going to do it like slightly more realistically, where it's going to be in perspective. And you're saying, oh God, I don't know how to do a circle in perspective. So I'm going to teach you. So I made a new layer. So this is our ear layer. And on our new layer, we're going to do a curve, just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to duplicate that, hit Control T in Photoshop, and we are going to turn it once. We're just going to kind of line it up. Do you see what I'm doing? Do you see the cleverness that's beginning here? Now I am working very small, so this is going to be quite the chunky little thing. Just like that. This is kind of like a method I developed because I didn't want my circles to look perfectly vectorized perfectness. I wanted them to still look a little sketchy. And then we're going to take it up and we're going to hang it right in that hole. Boop! Look at it, it's right in the hole. And then we're going to just transform it down so that's a hoop. And then we're just going to erase that part right there. It's a little hard to see, but there. There you go. Now let's hang shit from it. We'll put a little bird in it. Tiny little fat bird sitting in a piercing. Just like that. So that's like a little method to do pierced ears. Make it a little easier on yourself. Let me show you how to do a bow too. I'm sorry, I'm trying to stretch this out to about 30 minutes so that it is not a loss. I don't like doing anything less than 30 minutes. That's no fun. Okay, so let's do a bow. So she's done a pretty simple, and I apologize if you're not a girl. I'm sorry, I keep calling you she. But they have done a bow that has like a circular knot and then the classic like teardrop shapes coming out of it. This is fine, but if you want to go a little further, let's do... Just draw through your shapes and just do a simple barrel. And then from there, you could do the ties. Now, here you can do this any kind of way you want to do it. You could either finish it like they have with sort of a teardrop shape, or, you know, you could do my favorite, which is kind of a double teardrop. Just like that. Kind of got like a little Sailor Moon bow going on. Okay. And ruffles. I know I've done ruffles before, but I'll do... I'm just like, ruffles! We're doing ruffles! Okay, so we're going to do ruffles now. So, again, let's start like this. So we're going to just... Now these are pretty funky ruffles. These ones, not these ones. These are fine. But do kind of like a corally shape. I do this shape a lot of times when I'm on the phone with people. I scribble ruffles. And then just draw your lines back to a tension point. So the tension point would be somewhere like there. It's a little like a puzzle. You got to kind of figure out like where you could see the backside of the ruffles. Like this would be a backside. This would be a backside of a ruffle. Backside of a ruffle. Okay. Now I kind of just ended it there, but you would probably want to continue it on into space, so into an infinity, into another universe. Ruffles that know the boundary of no man, time, or space. There we go. Just like that. Those are some ruffles. Let's do some buttons. Buttons are always fun. Though usually look like a smiley face for a second there. Buttons, you know, there's all kinds, but you usually won't see them in this much detail, to be honest. I'm kind of getting a little excessive, but that's okay. And pearls. Pearls, I cheat. I have a lot of different ways that I do them, but make sure you're following rules of perspective when you do pearls, meaning that this one would be in the front, and then you would cascade them back behind each other. Same with this, you would go the other way, so you would go like this. You'd also probably want to make them rounder than I am doing them. And fingernails. Let's do fingernails. I got 1 minute to do fingernails. Okay, so by the way, this is, I understand that all this is purely stylized. I'm not trying to tell you like don't do fingernails this way. I'm just saying this is another way to do them. I like just little ovally nails, but I do have characters that have claws. I just give them big old fangs. With my male characters, I don't like to show the end of the nail, like meaning if I have a male character with longer nails, I for some reason prefer to fade it off than show like the cuticle and moon. I'm not sure why. Same thing with claws. Whereas like my female characters, I like to end it for some reason. I just feel it looks more manicured, I guess, even though like most, I don't think my characters get manicures or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't really mean anything, I guess. It just sort of separates them a little bit. And, cool. All right. So we're done. Go away. Yeah, so let's do a little before and after here. Let me back out to 70%. Hold on. I have to organize. Okay. Wait. Okay, so boop, 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 boop. I like it. Alright, again, let's thank leader of, well, it's leader-of-faith.deviantart.com for sending in this cool drawing. Keep sending them in. I think I have like a little less than 20 left, so that's 20 weeks of Redline Tuesdays. I'm not sure how long that is, but it's almost a year, I think. Anyway, but someday we'll run out, so keep sending them. And maybe if I get enough, I'll start doing like 2 a week or something. We'll have to figure it out, because right now, you know, one drawing takes me about 30 minutes, usually 30 minutes or less, more if it's a comic. So we'll have to figure it all out. But anyway, so thanks again, leader-of-faith.deviantart.com, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!